Alright guys, welcome back to another video. I'm recording this after the actual video, so at the end you're gonna get something like this, as you can see. This is gonna be like a little bit different from my usual formula, so it's gonna be like a long form sort of video. And I wouldn't say this video is completely beginner friendly. It's more of like people who has a grasp of the program and kind of know some stuff and just wants to kind of revise and kind of know what they can do with their skills. And I feel like some spots I wouldn't actually say what to do, so maybe if you're like a little confused, I'm sorry about that, but like some spot I'm just talking about some stuff and explaining. So without further ado, let's begin. Okay, let's begin. So first thing, what we're going to do is we're going to lower the scale of this cube by 0.5, and let's press Ctrl A to apply the scale. So once this happens, you have a cube that is 1 by 1 by 1 by 1 by 1 by 1 by 1. Yeah, basically it's all 1 meter on all sides, so we can adjust the size properly over here. So looking at the diagram from website, we can see that its width is 0.15. So basically on the x-axis is 0.15 and its depth is 0.161. Okay, 0.161, and its height is 0.11. So 0.11. There we go. So now we have the actual scale of the GameCube. We can apply the scale and we can start adding the reference images now. So I'm gonna go to side view, maybe move this guy up a little bit because why not? And I'm gonna press Shift A, add an image, and I'm gonna add a reference image. And you need to go to like wherever you save the image. This first image, I'll leave the link in the description as a Google Drive. It's this one right here. Right, there we go. Okay, so this side is the side with the squared bottom thing, so it's this one. So I'm gonna rotate this by 90 degrees like this, and I'm gonna scale this down like this. I'm gonna turn on X-ray view so I can see through the thing, and I'm gonna try to fit the object. I'm pretty sure it's not gonna fit like the whole thing 100%, but just try to kind of get the thing. I don't want the back side since we're going to be adding it later on, and also the front side. So we just kind of want it to be something like this for now. I'm gonna move this reference image reference image over here, and I'm going to move this over here. So now I'm gonna rotate this on the z-axis. Make sure it's rotating this way. Okay, so RZ minus 90 degrees. So it's the right way. We're gonna do the front view. So rotate this by minus 90 degrees, and I'm gonna move this over here. Nice. And there we go. I'm gonna move this, duplicate another one. Rotate on the x-axis by 90 degrees, minus 90 degrees. It's kind of confusing to navigate this. You might need to get used to it a little bit more. I might need to get used to it a little bit more. Okay, so we get something like this, as you can see. This is gonna be the top. And so now we can start editing the thing, the modeling, you know, the whole thing. So first thing, I'm going to go into edit mode, and it's kind of hard to kind of decide what to work on first when you're making a model, especially when it's kind of complicated. But I would say I recommend going from like the most not detailed thing to the detailed things. So like slowly start with like the obvious spots. So I want to do the back part, back part where you put the adapters in later on. just because it's going to be another object. And I'm not really sure what to work on first, since everything is just pretty much detailed the same level. So I would say I'm going to create like the crease of the in-between where the kind of disc plate opens the cover. So basically I'm just going to loop cut this and slide this to the right here. Loop cut, slide this to over here. I'm going to loop cut and slide this down here. So my bad. Loop cut is Control R, by the way, if any of you forgot, I guess. So we got something like this now, which is great. Let's go to like side view and let's loop cut another one, bring it to the bottom like this. Okay, that's pretty good. And now overall we have the creased spots, but you see this part is curved. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna subdivide this like once for now. Let's bring it down here and let's subdivide it again. And let's bring it down again and kind of repeat the process. And at this point we just want to kind of move this and kind of give it the curve over here. You see it kind of goes down here, right? And then it kind of has like a crease, like it goes right here and there's a button over here. So for the button we're going to be using Boolean later. So we're just gonna kind of go along with the curve now. So something like this for now. Let's go do it for the other side as well. We can just put it like at the intersect of this line with this line, which I think is a nice spot, I guess. And now we need to connect like this spot over here, this curve. So what we're gonna do is we're going to subdivide. Let's also do it for over here. I'm not sure if I selected the right one. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now I'm going to slide this all the way down like this, as you can see. So we have like a dot to connect. Then we can use the knife tool and kind of connect these two. So again, my bad, knife tool is K. And what we can do is we can right click and subdivide the thing, and we can move this so it kind of goes along with each other like this. And you can kind of subdivide it again, move it over here. You can like subdivide it as much as you want so it looks smooth. Maybe not too much, but I'm not sure like if it's gonna look good in the end, so you kind of have to decide that on your own, because we're not gonna be subdivision surfacing this. So I would say the curve might not be perfect since it's done by a human. So good luck with that. Let's also do it for over here. And let's subdivide. Let's select these two, subdivide it again. Select these four and subdivide once again. And kind of move it around like this. And this one's gonna be a little tough. I'm gonna first, okay, select this one. And we're going to right click and subdivide. And let's move it over here. And let's select this edge. Subdivide once again. And move this over here. So now what we can do is we can select this edge in the middle. It can be it's kind of hard to select in X-ray view, so you can turn it off by pressing Alt Z. Okay. So right here, this edge, Alt Z to turn X-ray back on. Right click, subdivide, and we have a vertex over here now. So we can move this vertex, and then we can select these two, subdivide it once again, and we can kind of move it out like this. And again, we can select these four and kind of move it apart again like this. So this is pretty nice, I guess. So there we go. So with that, we can kind of select these edges over here, and we can actually create the actual crease. There's some spots where you can hold Alt and some spots where you just can't, so it's kind of a little bit of trial and error. We're going to select the top part, and we're not going to select the back part, and we're going to select the bottom part over here. And now with that, we're going to bevel the thing. Oh wait, hold on. Wait, no. We're not yet. Okay. Actually, we need to do the orange red part over here. So what you can do is you can basically use a knife tool. So press K and kind of move it apart like this and make like a triangle. Then you can select these two edges, and I think you should subdivide it individually, because if you don't, it will connect. So that's gonna happen, I guess. So you kind of have something like this now. You can subdivide it again if you want, which is, hold on, edge, oh, which is what I will do. Hold on. This one, subdivide. Okay, so with that, let's reselect this. My bad. We're not gonna select that part yet. Not yet. Feel free to turn on and off the X-ray view whenever you want. When you're selecting, it's kind of hard sometimes. So with something like this now, okay, you can press Control B to bevel. And it depends on your preference, what you want. Like sometimes if you bevel it too big, the crease will look too big and unrealistic. So you might want to go for something like that's a little small. So just kind of go with what you think will work for you. And with that, let's fix something over here real quick. I'm going to subdivide this edge. Then I'm going to select this and press M to merge at last. So we kind of have this, and let's repeat the process for over here as well. Select this edge, subdivide this part, merge at last. Okay, so now let's reselect this whole thing right here and the bottom. Oh boy, there we go. This is where this part comes in. We're gonna select it as well, and we're gonna right click and extrude faces along normals. So now you can extrude the thing downwards like this now, and we're going to select these guys, press I to inset, and we can extrude it like this. Okay, something like this. And you may want to do this later, or you can do it right now. You can just kind of bevel a little bit if you want. Oh, wait, hold on. Unselect the middle edges. Let's try again. Bevel. Nice. Okay, so that's pretty good. And let's move on to the next part. So for the next part, we can do the buttons now, since I think that's something that's pretty obvious, I guess. So like, as a person who uses Blender, I kind of despise using Boolean. Okay, yeah, Boolean. I kind of despised using Boolean for some reason. Probably because it kind of ruins the topology of your mesh. So yeah, we're going to use a Boolean, and you just want to add like a cylinder, and you kind of want to make it into the shape of the button from top view, right here. And you just want to kind of dip it into the object like this. And we can also like duplicate it over here and over here as well. They're pretty much the same size, and we can move it over here as well. And scale this, Shift Z, make sure it's a Shift Z, so there's no difference in elevation between the the buttons and the discs thing. So we kind of have something like this now, and we can join them together now. So with that, we can select this guy, go over here, add modifier, generate, and boolean. Then we're going to click right here on the eyedropper tool and select the cylinder. Then you can apply the thing, and there you go. You got like a whole thing now. So with that, we can start making the buttons and the disc, I guess. So the disc cover right here, we can press I to inset a little bit, just like a little bit. You can extrude it upwards, but it kind of just defeats the purpose of having it go all the way down like that. And we're going to basically just extrude it up again to like something like this. So like it might just look like it's right here, but you can kind of see that there's a little bit of like a space in between, which is slightly more realistic, I would say. And we could go over here, and for this one as well, inset just a little bit, and we can extrude. Now this one, I would say, like I don't really actually have a GameCube, since I'm born in like 2009, and I'm not sure how it's supposed to go, but like looking at the images, I feel like the buttons like pop out a little bit compared to the level of the face on top. So kind of something like this, have it come up a little bit. And for this one, this button, I guess, the open button, it's kind of dented inwards. Basically, I'm just gonna press I to inset, and I to inset again. I'm gonna move it in and kind of repeat the process like this. So it kind of has like that feeling of being, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I'm gonna feel so like childish right now. It's kind of like a Beyblade stadium or something like that. It kind of goes inwards, like a reverse bell, but really flat, I guess. Oh, wait. Like a plate. Yeah, like a plate. My bad. Okay, so something like that. And we can go forward here, and we can press I to inset just a little bit, and we can extrude this one out and pop up a little bit. And this one as well, inset just a little bit, and press I, pop up a little bit. And let's actually move this one a little bit up, and we're going to press Control B. Basically, we're gonna bevel it a lot like this, and then we're going to scale it on the Z-axis and move it down, so it gives you like this weird like curved dome kind of feeling. I don't know, it's kind of in the thing. So with that, we have something like that, which is pretty good so far. Let's see what's next. We can now, there's a lot of things we can do. Let's see. So on the side view, there's this like cube shaped thing. Like, I'm not sure if you can see it properly, like a square, my bad. Like a square thing. So to do this, I will move this edge, make sure I'm selecting the right one, move this edge closer a little bit. It's gonna be twisted like this a little bit, but I think it's fine. And I'm going to loop cut like this, and I'm going to select these two edges, make sure I'm selecting the right one, and right click, subdivide. Oh, my bad, misclick. Right click, subdivide. Basically, as an explanation, when you have like two parallel, it doesn't need to be parallel, but like when it has like two edges like this and you subdivide it, they'll like, it wouldn't just subdivide these two lines, but it will make like a connection between these two lines. It doesn't need to be parallel, it could be a little bit twisted, but it will connect. So that's kind of a feature that you can use when you want to create like a vertical subdivision or something like that. So with that, you can select these guys. Let's zoom in a little bit, and I'm going to bevel, make the segments just 2, and there we go. I'm going to zoom in over here a little bit, and I'm going to right click, subdivide. Then I'm going to repeat this process, select this one, merge at last. Let's switch to over here, which seems to not have that problem since there is no line connecting right there. So with that, you can select the faces as a loop like this, and you can extrude it inwards like this now. So that's nice. And another one is like the gritty hole looking thing. This part, we can just select this face and we can inset, and now you can just adjust the scale to fit this. I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger, since the technique that I'm gonna be using is like subdividing this face, you know, subdividing. My accent has been kind of weird recently, so apologize. I apologize for that, but like, basically we're going to be subdividing the face, and then we're going to inset that face individually and extrude it inwards. So I'm kind of leaving the space for the outside as well. And before we actually, let's do it. So if we look at here, you can see that it's kind of like, hold on, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. There are 11 grid holes, but I was looking at another reference images like of a GameCube, and it had 8, which 8 just sounds much better than 11 because there's less, so there's less to work with, and I feel like that would be a little bit better. So I'm just gonna go off the reference image that we have right here for now, and we're going to subdivide it, and we're gonna click right here, and I'm just gonna increase the amount like this: 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, one more. So number of cuts 7, and you should have like 8 now. So I'm just gonna leave it at that for now, and not inset and, you know, do the thing. If you ask why, that's because if I do it now, later on when we're gonna have to color the thing, it's gonna be hard to select the holes individually. So we're just gonna kind of do this later on. So yeah, I guess that's that. So pretty much that's good, and let's move this to over here now, since we're already done with this side. And go over here. I'm gonna rotate this by, hold on, that's kind of weird. That's kind of weird. Hold on, rotate this by, on the y-axis, by 180 degrees. So we flip the thing. Now this one, it has like a semicircle right here. As you can see, a semicircle. And we're gonna use that. So let's go into edit mode again. And I'm going to loop cut. Okay, we can't, but sometimes like when you're trying to loop cut, it kind of has an issue because the topology has been messed up by things like this, as you can see. So sometimes instead of using loop cut, we can like work around that by using a, you know, the subdivide technique like that. So basically we're going to select these two edges and subdivide it. And once you got that, we should have this on the right like level, I guess. And we can also repeat this and select this over here. Let's move this over here and also repeat this. Hold on. So there we go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this top edge and subdivide it. Then I'm going to press K to use the knife tool. And I'm going to kind of move this, like kind of slice it into a triangle. And I think you can see where I'm going with this. I'm basically going to now subdivide these two. Oh, there we go. That's a nice example. So again, like I said earlier, it doesn't need to be parallel. Like even if it's like a triangle shape, as you can see right now, when you like subdivide it, it connects, which could be a good like option in some cases, but right now I don't really need it, so I'm just gonna subdivide it individually. And let's do that. Subdivide, 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 subdivide. And I'm just gonna kind of move this around now. Okay. And I can kind of select these edges. Actually, before that, I'm gonna select this top one, and I'm gonna press Control Shift B. When you do that, you can kind of bevel that single vertex, and I think that kind of looks a little bit smoother. So again, I'm going to select these guys, then I'm gonna bevel like this. Again, let's check the bottom if there's any weird connections, and actually we have a problem here. This kind of is probably gonna have an interference when we're beveling the edges over here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select these two and merge it together. So this one, merge it last. Let's test if it would work. I hope it works. So something like that, and we're going to extrude it inwards now. Then we can select these two guys again, and we can bevel it. Okay, it works. Okay, so let's bevel that later. But like before beveling, let's actually also do this part. So hold on. Edit mode, and okay. I don't know why I keep exiting edit mode. So you can use this like one on the other side that we just made earlier as a mirror, I guess. And we can now set this up. And again, let's right click, subdivide, and it's 7 cuts as I remember. Okay, good. So great, we have something like this now. And we can now select the edges. So we don't want to go into like the inside, we just kind of want to skim over it like this. We're actually going to have a problem with the dented area on the edge, which we're going to be fixing after we bevel the thing. So something like this. Actually, I feel like for the part over here, like in the middle, on the vertical kind of thing, you can select it as well. I think it would look a little bit better if we used it. I think like this is my opinion. I feel like modeling is like, it's really art. Like overall Blender is just about art, I think. And the thing is, it's not about following a recipe like a tutorial. Like, I mean, yeah, you're watching a tutorial right now, but what it's like, it's about what you get from the tutorial, I think. And it's not about how you do things, it's about what you learn from making this. So like from like watching tutorials, you kind of understand the thought process of all the like steps and processes, I guess. So as you can see, we're gonna bevel a thing like this now. And like I said, we're gonna have a problem right there. This weird thing will happen. So to fix it, it's gonna be a little bit complicated maybe. But you see this top like pointy thing? You want to move it down to the bottom right here. This is where it connects. And there's gonna be this like weird like thing. We're just gonna merge it to the one on the bottom like this. So basically we can merge these two together, and we can select these two edges, and we can just slide it in. So this is something that I just improvised on probably like my second project, like second attempt on making a GameCube. Like I'm kind of proud for like figuring this out, because like me back in the day, if I saw this, I'd probably just gave up. So merge this together, merge this together. So like I said, like when you're modeling, you're gonna run into a lot of problems like this, you see. And it's also like an experience-based thing. You can't just like read it off like books and YouTube videos. You kind of just have to learn to like deal with some situations on your own, since like it's a tool, and not all like situations are able to be like explained, I guess. And let's slide this up. even more. Okay. I also would like to say that we're not going to be like making the details for the bottom part, since it's kind of detailed and quite like redundant, I think. Like, I mean, if you want to do it, I think you can do it, like if you have the skill, but I feel like you're not really gonna see it anyways, so I think we just leave it at that, and that should be good. So now we have the whole thing like this. I think this is pretty good. Oh wait, hold on, we have over here as well. This part is gonna be quite painful to deal with. Okay, for this first part, I'm gonna just fix this little issue. I would say though, if you want to be good at something, you just need to do it. It's not like, no matter how many hours you spend on watching tutorials, can beat just like doing it. You just do it, and you learn from doing it most of the time. And when you don't know what to do something, you go watch a tutorial. And when you like think you can do something, you have an idea, you just go do it. And right here, we're gonna like have a little problem. What I do is I just select the face and triangulate it. There's not much we can do to kind of make this look better. I think we're just gonna have to leave it like that. But I think it's pretty okay in this case. So we have something like that, and now what we're gonna do is we're going to make the front part where all the ports for the controllers are. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add another cube and kind of scale it down. And I'm gonna move it up and turn on X-ray. Adjust the scale a little bit, adjust the scale on this axis. And I'm gonna move this to the front, a little bit to the back as well. So we're just gonna have something like this. Okay, I think this size fits now. Now, like, this is gonna be something that I did, which I think might be a little bit out of the book. The thing is, when I'm making the ports, I'm gonna inset like the holes and kind of push it inwards. But once I do that, it's gonna like hit this wall because there's a layer, and like the holes can't go through. So what I do is I'm gonna bevel. No, not bevel. I'm gonna boolean. Sorry if I like interchangeably use bevel and boolean sometimes. I don't know why I do that, but like basically I'm gonna boolean. So add modifier, generate boolean, and I'm gonna select this cube and apply it. And you see, now there's a hole, so when we kind of like extrude inwards, it's gonna be good. So let's go to side view over here, and let's move this inwards. Okay, we can't see the thing. We can't see the thing. Hold on. Okay, let's go out of edit mode, and let's move this over here. And let's rotate this by 180 degrees. And let's flip this on the z-axis by 180 degrees as well. And let's move this back here. I kind of used this like black spot over here as a reference, and it wasn't on the other side for some reason. So now I'm going to kind of move it around so the tip is like that. I'm going to go into edit mode, and I'm going to loop cut it in the middle like this. Then I'm going to select these two edges, and I'm going to move it inwards. Now you don't want to go all the way in like that, since it's kind of look weird, so just leave it at like poking out a little bit like that, as you can see. Okay, then we can select this edge and press Ctrl B to bevel it and just slide it out evenly like this. So we have a nice like curved thing, as you can see. This is pretty nice. Oh, nice. This is pretty nice. And now we're gonna do the same thing as we did on top right here. We're going to use the boolean, and we're going to kind of make the ports. So let's add a cylinder, and I'm gonna scale this all the way down. Then I'm going to rotate it on the x-axis by 90 degrees. Scale it, shift Y down. Let's move it over here. Scale, shift Y. Scale, shift Y. Like that, and let's move it out to the front. I'm gonna scale it a little bit so it kind of skims in just a little bit. And I'm going to duplicate it and move it over here. Duplicate it and move it over here. Duplicate it and move it over here. I'm also gonna duplicate this, move it over here. Scale, shift Y, and I'm gonna make just a little hole for the area right that, like right there. And we're going to just duplicate these two guys now and kind of move over here, so we're gonna have like the number thing for the ports, I guess. Controller number 4 over here. We're actually gonna also have a little issue with the like the circle thing right there. But with that, we should be fine. Let's select this all and join them together first. And then we also should like make the thing over here. I think that's the hole where you put in the, I'm not sure what it's called. Probably like the memory thing. Like I'm pretty sure it's about the memory, but I forgot what it's called. Okay, let's actually move it out to the front as well. Okay, then I'm going to select these two edges, just those two edges, and I'm going to bevel it. Oh wait, hold on. You see, once you bevel it, it's kind of going to be deformed. Yeah, deformed. That's because we need to apply the scale first. So I guess just do that, and let's try again. Control B. Alright, that's great. So now we can select this, hold on, select this and duplicate it over here like that, and let's select these two edges and join them together, and we have this kind of weird looking thing, I guess. And we can select this, add modifier, and generate boolean, and select this and go over here, and you can apply the boolean now. Oh, I forgot to mention, for applying modifiers, it's Control A. Yeah. Like, since Blender 4.0 released like the shortcut VUI thing, like VUR thing, where you kind of can see what I'm pressing, it kind of stopped working. I'm still trying to make it work, but no avail right now. So I would like to apologize about that for now. I would try to get it working as soon as I can. But you see, the problem here that I was talking about earlier is that the thing right here is not like aligned on the path of circles. Like the circle, the edge, like the vertices right here is spaced like proportionally. How do you say it? Like spaced properly. But once you have this thing, when you kind of try to bevel, I'm not sure if I could do a demonstration. When you try to bevel, you're gonna have some issues. So to like avoid that, what we're going to do is we're going to select this and merge it at last. So we're just going to kind of take the one that's off track and merge it to the one on track, I guess. And we're going to have to repeat it for all the other guys. So you can kind of do that, I guess. Merge at last. Alright, nice. You can, well, it's not you can, but I guess it's you should also do it for the one up here. It seems like it's, oh wait, hold on. Is it? It's not. Oh wait, it is. Oh wait. Okay, this one, like in my case, it might be different in yours, but in my one, it's kind of um, rare, like really close to each other. So you might want to kind of squeak it around a little bit and try to get it to work. I think I'm gonna plan on beveling this part as well, so that's why I'm doing it. I mean, if you're not, then I think you're safe to continue on to the next part. But hey, this is me. All right. So just repeat all this again and again, I guess. I would say, like, a lot of the situations in life that I'm in right now, I've been like not really like I've not been able to kind of focus 100% on Blender, like school stuff. I think I mentioned about like finals exam and stuff like earlier. Um, yeah, basically I'm going to be taking an entrance exam for a high school that I want to go to, and it's going to be really early compared to everyone else. And basically it's in like 2 weeks now, so kind of really trying to prepare for it. Kind of also a little nervous, but it's fine, definitely. So we're going to select these like edges over here now, and I'm going to bevel it like that. Hold on. Before that though, let's apply the scale. Let's see if it makes a difference. Okay, it does. Okay, so I'll apply the scale. But I would say to be safe, we're like looking at a reference image. Oh, I forgot. I should have mentioned this earlier. But you should really like look at like a reference image, like most of the time. Like if you like. Like if you're modeling anything, you should maybe like look at a reference image of the thing on like Google, or if you're making something of your own, like making your own models and stuff, you should like before anything, you should sketch and envision the whole thing. So like you have something to follow along to, because if you kind of just model the thing from scratch without anything, it would kind of come crumbling down later on. So really I recommend you look at the reference image or whatever you have. And with these all these selected, we're going to press I to inset the thing, and I'm going to extrude it inwards like this. Okay, this is great. And now I'm going to select these guys once again. I feel like there's a lot of backtracking in this video. I hope you don't mind about that. Okay, with that I'm going to bevel this thing like this, and that's a nice hole. Oh, hold on. Okay, once I talked about backtracking, we're backtracking already. My bad. Before we bevel the thing, you see a Game Boy, not a Game Boy, a GameCube thing. When you if you have one, you know that the hole for plugging in the controller, it's not a circle, but it's kind of a circle with the top like flat. So we kind of have to create that as well. So I'm going to select like the top 4, like how should I explain this? The top 8 faces. So if this is like the center, on the side there's 4, and on the other side there's 4. So kind of like that, and let's repeat it over here as well, like this. 4. Make sure you don't miscount or anything. Make sure it's symmetrical, I guess. Like that. And like that, okay? And we're going to scale this on the z-axis by 0. When you do that, it kind of turns flat, as you can see. And now we can move this down, like if it's continuing on the track, and kind of just flattening right there. So that's good. And again, let's reselect all these guys right here. And bevel. Let's also do it for over here. I would like to talk about life. Feel like life. Let's also bevel the top part. Like life as a teenager. I mean, if you do it right, it's really gonna be an amazing experience. But I feel like not everyone does it right. I mean, I didn't really have a great start when I hit puberty, to be honest, but now that I have, I've been able to learn a lot of things and improve quite a lot. And I think it's just what's so beautiful is like it's you kind of have like a track for you, and it feels like a game. Like, I think that's what like a game is based off. It's just making life. It's just life, like a video game. It's just life, but it's easier, and everyone just picks the easier route because it's just easier. But like I feel like if you actually take your time and go out of your comfort zone to do like hard things, it has a more rewarding feeling, and that reward is also long term since it's actually a part of you. Whilst video games, it might just be gone one day because it's not actually a part of you. So I guess that's a thing. Okay, we have this part done. Let's also do the back. Okay. Like I feel like it's really fun to live now that I've been able to do things properly. Here's a funny story. I started running because why not? Yeah, and basically I have a pretty, like, how do you say it? Pretty. Okay, I'm gonna duplicate this to over here, and I'm gonna go to back view. I have a pretty rough routine, I guess. Let's turn on X-ray view. I'm gonna like for a moment I'm gonna hide these guys. Okay, and I'm gonna scale this on the x-axis. I'm gonna move it down a little bit. Okay, and I'm gonna go into edit mode, select the bottom face, and I'm gonna scale it over here. And I'm also gonna loop cut, slide it down, scale it on the x-axis like that. Okay, so again, about the routine. I have a pretty rough routine. I jump rope every day, basically, and I decided to start running. Okay, I'm gonna select these two front faces, and I'm going to inset, press I, and I'm going to scale it on the z-axis, kind of move it down like this, as you can see. Put it right here, and I'm going to repeat that, and I'm going to move it down here. Okay, maybe I'll tell you about the routine later. Hold on, let's just do this first. So I'm gonna select these two guys, and I'm gonna scale it on the x-axis by 0, so it's flat. And I'm going to select these two, scale on the x-axis, so it's flat. So now we have like a perfect square. Well, it's not a square. We have a rectangle. Let's go to back view again, and I'm gonna scale it so it actually fits the thing properly. Okay, I just realized something. The thing is flipped, I think. Yeah, the thing is in the wrong way. Let's go out of edit mode and rotate this on the z-axis by 180 degrees. What happened? Rotate Z 180 degrees. Okay, and I'm gonna move it over here, back over here. That's great. Okay, and there we go. Okay, so let's also move this up to like something like this now. So you see, you want to make sure that this face is flat. If you're like a little anxious about it, you can select it, scale it on the y-axis by 0, and that should confirm that you have a flat face thing over here. And let's select these two and press Control numpad plus, and I'm going to extrude this a little bit, and I'm going to extrude this inwards. Okay, that's pretty nice. And let's work on the holes over here now, the ports. So now I'm going to move this up so it hits the bottom of these two guys. Then I'm going to use the subdivision sideline technique. I've come to use this more than loop cuts because, like, with this you're more like you're able to control the area more, so you don't have weird like edges in places that you don't want it to have. And I'm going to also like select these two guys and subdivide it again. Increase the like amount to like 4. And now we can move these guys to its respective places like that. And also like for this one, I'm going to subdivide it, give the number of cuts to 2. So we have this right here. And let's see what we do. Okay, hold on. Select this edge and this edge. This is gonna be quite weird, but I think we're just gonna have to do it. And subdivide this. Give the number of cuts to 2, and I'm gonna move this over here. This is not a really good option, I think, but I'm not sure what to do. This is basically we're making the part where it comes up a little bit. I'm gonna use the knife, slice it like that to the top. There we go. Okay, that's pretty good. Now I'm going to select these guys and just extrude it in like that. That's pretty good. So now we can start beveling the parts where we want it to be beveled. So I can just loop select one like that, and another one, and another one like that. Loop select, loop select. We also want this part because why not, I guess. I feel like hard surface modeling, it could be like a win, or like it could be okay, and sometimes it could be a pain in Blender. Like when it goes well, but sometimes it's just easier to do it in a CAD program. But I digress, I guess. So I'm gonna bevel here now. Let's lower the segment a little bit. And as you can see, that's way smoother. Let's actually also do it for over here. Bevel. Yeah, that's pretty good. And let's Alt-H to unhide everything else. And I just realized something. We should also boolean the thing for this guy as well, because it's kind of having the same problem we had earlier. So let's select this guy, apply it. So now when you move it back in, this part is actually pretty okay. So I feel like most of the hard parts are done now. Maybe just this part a little bit where we kind of have to model the part where the flap kind of opens and closes. This is gonna be a little tough one. Let's hide this for a second. Okay. This is gonna be okay. We didn't have to we didn't have to hide that one. Okay, never mind. Okay, so this is gonna be a little tough one since I'm actually not 100% sure how the whole thing looks. So we're kind of gonna have to mimic the thing. So I'm gonna subdivide it right here. Then I'm going to select this one and subdivide it. Give it 2 things right here. And I'm going to scale it like this. As you can see, it's not flat, so we're going to scale this on the x-axis by 0. This one scale on the x-axis by 0. So for my mimicking technique, hold on. Yeah, for my mimicking technique, I'm going to select this guy and I'm going to extrude it inwards like this. Okay. Now I'm going to hold on. Select this top one and this one and subdivide it. Okay, something happened there. What happened? Subdivide. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do. So select the bottom one and subdivide it twice. So we have a vertex right there. I feel like some cases would be different from like my video, from my video and to what you're experiencing might be a little different in some cases. So if that happens, I feel like you might have to kind of improvise on what you're gonna do, which I think you can do it. I mean, like, I'm not sure who I'm talking to since this is a YouTube video, but I think it's okay. And basically, we're gonna do that, right? Then this is gonna be a little cheap trick, I guess. We're going to select these 2 guys and extrude this out like this. Then I'm going to select these 2 edges and bevel the thing like that. So it kind of gives you, well, let's actually also do it for over here a little bit, because why not? So this kind of gives you an illusion that it's like a flap thing. Well, it might not actually be, but I think that's okay for now. I'm not sure what would happen if someone were to 3D print this. If someone has a 3D printer, like if you are able to model this, maybe try 3D printing it. I'm not sure if it like would actually end well, because I think the topology isn't like 100% great. So yeah. Next, I feel like all the hard parts are done now. All we have to do is make that arc looking thing. Let's go to top view and I'm going to add a cube. I'm going to scale it down like this. I'm going to move it over here. Make sure you center it on the y-axis since we're going to be using the mirror modifier. So something like this, right? Then go into edit mode. Then I'm going to, okay, someone's skateboarding outside. I'm going to loop cut it in the middle. Then I'm going to select this half, delete the faces, and I'm going to select it and give it a mirror modifier right there. Okay. Okay, now I can hear children crying. That's not good. So I'm gonna select these now. I'm gonna extrude these now. You see, we'll move. Basically, just extrude it out and kind of create the arc. This is a little simple technique. And you can also repeat it, like loop cut it in the middle and just kind of adjust it till it looks good. So you kind of have something like this, which is pretty good, I guess. Now we're gonna go into side view, and let's move it up and put it at the right place, like that. And let's turn off that. And I'm going to apply the scale, as you can see. I'm going to select these guys. Oh wait, before that, let's just apply the mirror modifier now. So I'm going to select these guys now. Then I'm going to bevel it by just a little bit. And for the bottom, if we look at another image like this one right there, you see, it kind of goes in a little bit because it's a production technique to lower costs. Basically, they're kind of just hollowing the part out. So we're going to press I to inset, then press I again to isolate them, and we have something like that, right? Then we can extrude it inwards like that, move it up, and there you go. We have cheaper plastic. I guess it's a pretty nice detail to add. If you want to add slightly more realism, you can select these guys and bevel it, because that's what we do. Like 100%, if I were to teach someone to model something to be a little bit more realistic, the first thing I'm going to tell them is to just bevel the edges. Like sharp things, they just don't look good, all right? We don't really see that in the real world. Like no matter how, like what we think of, there's no way there's going to be something that's extremely like sharp and really edgy. Like to go around this, we can use a, what is it called, a bevel modifier sometimes, but I feel like when you do that, it's kind of like sometimes like the model is really complicated and you're gonna run into some errors sometimes. So sometimes manually beveling things would be better. So like as you can see, I also beveled that part earlier. Yeah, there we go. And pretty much that's it for the model. Oh yeah, we need to do the grid part right there. But before that, let's add like the legs, like the bottom part. Like it's probably some kind of rubber or something. I'm not sure what it is. Basically gonna add it like that now. And I'm going to move it over here. And I can duplicate this one and bring it to the front. Scale it on the y-axis a little bit. I'm going to let it pop out on the front. I'm going to press the dot, or you can also press it up here. And we're going to switch to individual origins. Then we're going to scale on the x-axis to make it smaller. Then let's switch to median point and scale and kind of move them apart. Like for some reason I feel like this one, it kind of pops out a little bit when I looked at an image. Oh yeah, right there. You can also move this one and kind of use this as a reference, which thinking about it, I should have done that in the first place. But again, this guy right here. Okay, I'm just gonna delete this one over here first. Okay, that's great, that's great. And okay, so I'm going to scale this like this. So it kind of pops out a little bit, but it's not too obvious. Then I can move another one over here. I think that's great. I think this is it now. And to settle a couple of things more, for more detail, I guess we can make like I'm not sure what it's called, like the parts inside of the port, like where it's kind of like a gold or something. It's probably not gold. Like I'm not sure if it's safe to say it's a conductor. Like I've been getting into science a lot, and sometimes I don't really want to throw like random guesses around, because if it's wrong, then it's a really bad feeling to spread misinformation. But basically, it's like those, like, you know, gold parts where the wires and stuff are supposed to connect, I guess. And we're basically gonna add something like this, okay? Then we're going to loop cut it like this. Not sure how much the amount is. The number of cuts is 6, okay. And then we're going to select these guys, and I'm going to extrude and scale it on the z-axis or something like that. So basically these parts where it kind of comes out of the cube, this is gonna be gold. You can also select this and extrude it out a little bit as well. This is great. And I can just scale this in, scale this smaller, make it small, I guess. And I can move it and slide it and hide it in there. And I can just duplicate this to over here now. Select another one and duplicate it. And now we have the plug thing inside, I guess, which is pretty good. So now to finish it off, we can do the grid part. So before that, this is gonna be a kind of a blend, and I think it'll be a little bit hard to know what to do in the timestamp, but okay, never mind, I digress, sorry. Go into material preview, and I'm going to give it a new material. Oh, it already has a material. Basically, it's kind of going to be the purple and make it a little bit dark, something like that. You can also make it your own color if you want. And for here, I'm just going to call it purple. And I'm going to add another one, a new. I'm going to call this darkness. They're basically the holes, you know. When you look inside, it's going to be pretty dark. So it's going to be black, and it's going to have no roughness. So, wait, it's going to have a lot of roughness. But for some reason, all these parts are turning black. Hold on. Press A, select this guy, and assign. And there we go. So once you've got that, let's go into edit mode now. And I'm going to just drag and select this whole thing. Then I'm going to inset it individually. Now, if it's not individual, you need to press I again, so it turns individual, like this. And this is pretty much up to you to like how much you want to inset the thing. But you're gonna have you kind of want something like that, and then extrude it in like that. Select darkness and assign it. So you kind of got something like that. You can also press Control Plus now before you unselect it, and just give it a little bit of a bevel if you want, which I think is something that if you unselect it, it's just gonna be a missed opportunity, because I feel like nobody's just gonna go one by one selecting all the faces inside the hole. So I would say take an opportunity and kind of do the thing. And this side as well, selected, inset, like this. I feel like that's too much. Inset, extrude it inwards, darkness and assign, Control Plus, and bevel it a little bit. That's great. That's pretty good. Like for parts like this, I think you can select, like hold Alt, okay? And so it also selects the side. Then you can also like bevel it if you want. I think that's good. Let's move this around. I think that's good. So now we can start applying the materials for the other guys. I feel like at this point you can delete the reference image now, since we're not really going to use it. I think I'll just leave one just in case. And let's see. So first we're going to need a white plastic. So let's create a new material. I'm not going to make it perfectly white, since I feel like plastic would be a little bit more yellow due to like discoloration or something like that. I wouldn't say discoloration. Like, I'll do my research later on. It's when like the plastic, you know, turns kind of yellow. Like if you look right now, this part is not really that like realistic because it's really sharp. If you don't like it, you can select, you know, these guys. You want to hold Alt, okay? Hold Alt like that, and you can bevel it. So Control B like that, and it will look better, as you can see. So this is really up to you to if you're gonna do it, like if you're gonna do it or not. And let's select this on the top, press plus all the way down, and assign it to white. Okay, that's too yellow. Hold on, I'm just gonna do my research like right now. What is it called when a plastic turns yellow? Polymer chains degrade. Yeah, probably some kind of scientific stuff, I guess. I'm not like a big fan of chemistry. I wouldn't say that actually. Like chemistry, I think it's fun. I think it's interesting. I mean, I would love to do it if I was free or something. Like if I was in a free state where I like, if I was just a chill, like I would do it. Like if someone said, hey, you want to study chemistry, I would say like, yeah, sure. But like right now I'm not in the situation to do that since I have an exam coming up. I mean, I am studying chemistry, but it's not so complicated, I guess. I'm gonna select these parts now as well. I'm also gonna be like beveling some random spots, and I might not be able to, like, I might not be saying that. So sometimes just look at the screen, I guess. Select that. I'm gonna bevel it slightly. So that's good. And that's purple. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. Let's move on to over here. I would say I'm a big fan of physics, though. It's really fun. Another funny story. The other day, my science teacher was asking me what like our favorite like science field was, and I was the only one who raised their hands when the teacher said physics. Like, who likes physics? And I was just there in class, and I was the only one raising my hand. that was funny, though. I guess I would say no one really likes physics that much for some reason. Okay, so this back part, let's make it purple, and this black part, I'm gonna create a new material and call it black. Hold on, the language changed. Black. The reason I'm not using darkness is because darkness is dark and it's not gonna reflect anything. You can also shade auto smooth and stuff. And right there, like these holes, as you can see, like if there's a hole, you kind of just make it a darkness. But if it's like black plastic stuff or rubber or something like that, you can just make it a black. Yeah. And so you see for the inside thing over here, like in the end, on the end, you can just press new. I'm gonna make this one. Hold on. Okay. I'm gonna make this one white for now. White. Then I'm gonna add a new one, and then I'm gonna make it darkness. Before that, let's press A and make it white again. I don't know why. It's probably some kind of weird feature, but when I add it, it kind of assigns random spots darkness for some reason. So spotlights, like spots like that, we can make it darkness. But like, you know, these like plug areas, let's join them together. This one will be black since it's not actually darkness, I guess. I don't know why I feel like funny saying darkness all of a sudden. Okay, so like spots like that. And for the bottom part right here, we're not doing much about it. So select these guys, and I'm going to join them. Then I will bevel them slightly because that's what we do. And we can make it black. Although it's rubber, I feel like some rubber has some amount of reflection to it. And other parts like here, I'm gonna press Control plus until it comes like this area, you know. Then I'm gonna unselect the face at the end, which is like darkness. I'm gonna add a new one, make it black and a sign. So like that might look like darkness, but this is like black right there. And pretty much something like that. I think that's it for the things. Oh wait, hold on. So this part is supposed to be like red or orange. I didn't do a great job at assigning this. Okay, let's call it red for now. And the thing is, it's kind of like some kind of transparent plastic where the light shines when like your console is on or something. So you can just set it as red, but to make it look like a little bit better, I'm gonna lower the roughness to make it a little bit more shiny. Then I'm gonna increase the transmission. What a transmission is basically just says that like the object is transparent right here. So something like that. That's good. Like I would also say if like there's some spots like right here, for example, like the insides of these holes and like the disc part, what's it called again, the storage or something, like this part right here, you can also create like a grayish material if you want, because it will also give it a little bit of a highlight that is kind of a little bit different, so that you could also do that. And we're not 100% close to done. We need to do the top part right here. So we're going to select the top cover, I guess. I'm going to press plus and new, and I'm going to call this call it cover. Okay, then I can assign it. So this is going to be an image texture. So I'm going to press on this yellow button right here and image texture and press open. Then I'm going to leave the second image in the description as well. I found this on like ArtStation. So yeah. So basically we're going to use this part where it's the cover. Kind of use that as the cover. And there we go. GameCube. I'm gonna delete that one now since we're definitely not using it. So you can call this a day. Oh wow, we just made a GameCube. This is good, but like for the ones who you're the type of person who would go all the way, you know that we're missing something. You know we're missing the text, like the power and the reset and the open and the Nintendo logo. So yeah, again, I'm now gonna leave another link of a Google Drive, I guess, in the description. I think I'm just gonna make it like one folder and I'm gonna share that folder. Okay, that's actually a better idea. Basically, this is gonna be a SVG file. So file and import SVG, scalable vector graphics, and just go to wherever you saved it. And you're gonna import it. So I'm gonna select these guys now. I called it engravings for some reason. And you can Why is it selecting it? Okay, I'm gonna join them, like each of the different parts. Gonna join them to make them individual, like that. So something like that. Now I'm gonna select all of them again, like this. Then I'm gonna right click and set origin to geometry. So we have something like that now. Now what we're gonna do next is, right now it's a curve, it's not a mesh, and to do a boolean we kind of need a mesh. So we're going to select all 4 of them, right click, convert to mesh. Okay, that's great. Then we can go into edit mode, select all of them, and press E and just extrude it up like that. So once you've got all the parts like that, you can move it like that, I guess, and just move it to its respective places. It might be a little bit hard to kind of manage where it's gonna go, but I think once you do it, it should be good. I'm gonna move it down now, and you just want the thing to skim over where it's gonna go. For some reason, it's hard to visualize the edges and stuff over here for some reason. So, yeah. Okay, so I think this is good now. And there we go. Yeah, okay. So now we can boolean the things. This is gonna be a really, how do you say, it's gonna be really painful to do, since like all of the parts and stuff is now built. So the boolean might take some time depending on your computer. Now like this part, make sure you didn't join anything to this cube, and we can do it, I think. So add modifier, generate boolean. I'm gonna select the Nintendo logo first, and as you can see, my thing is freezing. Oh, it's done. Okay, so once you do it, you can apply. So Control A, and it's gonna take some time, and there we go. And sometimes, I would say, well, not sometimes, most of the times, you're gonna end up with something messed up, as you can see. Like once you get something messed up, I think you should just Control Z the thing until you got back to this process. I don't know what the problem is. Like Blender's boolean is not 100% like amazing. Like if you want a good boolean, you might want to use like a CAD tool, but this is not a CAD tutorial. This is a Blender tutorial. So you kind of want to adjust like the level where this goes. Oh wait, I think I have a solution. I just thought of this right now. Okay, so you're gonna select this, add modifier, and generate and wireframe. We're going, oh wait, not wireframe. No, generate and weld. We're gonna use a weld to simplify the logo, but right now it's turned into something really not great. So we need to lower the distance even more. So 0.0005. Okay, that's too much. Okay, I think this is good. Okay, so now you can apply it. So I think all you want to do is just give it a weld with a nice it still has its details, but like it cleans up a little bit more. Then you can apply it now. Let's see if it did anything. Ooh, that's nice. That's a nice clean bevel right there. So this is nice. It worked. Oh, like in my earlier projects, I had to kind of fix the thing because the bevel was really bad. So I had to use like cheap tricks again, like duplicating stuff and not actually connecting it. Okay, so this one, it's also welded as well. So we got something good. 0.0002. Apply it, and this one, let's give it a boolean again. Let's select this guy and apply it. Okay, I actually feel good right now because my boolean technique kind of worked and it's working really well. I feel like this is going in too deep, so let me just move it up slightly. Okay, let's see. Okay, that's great, that's great. Add modifier, boolean. Okay, this is good. It's actually some like something really, I don't know, like I get a dose of dopamine or something when I figure something out in Blender, and it actually works pretty well. Okay, that's good. So now we have the engravings done and everything, and you should be good. Let me try adding let me try adding some HDRIs or something. Open HDRI. I'll try this photo studio thing, and let's check it out in cycles. Let's see how it looks. Switch to GPU, denoise. Yeah, I think this is pretty good. Okay, this is like my third time making the GameCube, and it's been like an hour and a half. So this is a nice project, I guess. Yeah. So that should be it for today's video. I feel like it's not extremely realistic, but it's not too basic. It's a nice like project to kind of revise all your modeling skills and stuff. So yeah, that's it for today's video. Oh yeah, about my routine, the thing. So basically, again, I said I started running, and I also have like jump ropes and stuff, and like my routine is pretty tough. So when I started running, after a couple of days, like I ran for 2 kilometers every day, and like after a couple of days, my shin just hurts so much that I couldn't run anymore. So now I'm just taking my time recovering, which is something, I guess. So again, that's it for today's video. I feel like I kind of went out of my formula and kind of went for a more like long form, unedited video. I feel like maybe it's good. I hope some of you guys liked it, I guess. I'm trying to reach like 1,000 views for this video, so if you like it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and like if you have any friends who might be interested, please like share it, I guess. And yeah, I'll see you guys around. Peace.